Welcome back, and let's turn our attentions now to the north of Israel and the ongoing war with the Iranian-backed proxy Hezbollah. Sirens have been blaring across Israel's northern communities this Thursday, including in Kiryat Shmona and Metula. Our Zach Andrews joins us now from the north of Israel as night falls. Zach, what's happening up there?
Yeah, at this point in the night, it's a bit quieter than it was yesterday. Yesterday, we had Hezbollah claim responsibility for 6 attacks. There was a considerable amount of cross-border fire. At this point tonight, we're looking at 3 attacks Hezbollah has claimed responsibility for, including what appears to be launches on Kiryat Shmona. We also had an alarm in Arab el-Ramshi. No reports coming in at this point in the night of any casualties or damage to homes, civilian infrastructure. And it does appear, like we usually see, Hezbollah has been targeting some of the military installations, the IDF outposts that are dotted along the border. In southern Lebanon, we continue to see airstrikes taking place in multiple locations. The IDF has not been listing or labeling out specifically where exactly they've been focused. They're focusing their fire like they usually do. However, we've seen in Lebanese media channels they're reporting some of these strike locations. They're locations that have been hit before. They're very close to the border. We've also seen the Lebanese civil defense activated. They've been local firefighters, it appears, putting out some wildland fires that have started as a result of what appears to be some cross-border fire. One of those fires very close to the border fence as well, but it looks like that that fire has been put out, from what I can tell, and those firefighters were able to do so uneventfully and safely.
And Zach, let's talk about the broader picture, because there are some signs that Hezbollah's backers in Tehran are changing their strategy in Syria as a result of a series of strikes blamed on Israel, including the most famous, that strike which took out General Zahedi in Damascus recently. What's happening?
Yeah, so yesterday, papers in Beirut citing a Hezbollah source, it looks like a lone source, said that Hezbollah was informed that the IRGC would be pulling out or removing itself from Syria. That's a considerable moment, but we've heard similar lines like this before, like back in December. We had heard that the IRGC was going to be withdrawing or sizing down its presence in and around Damascus. And then, of course, that strike took place on April 1st. So not paying too much credence to, of course, a terror group's sources or messaging as it's being dispersed throughout media in Lebanon. We see today that it's been picked up by Saudi media channels. What could be interesting is that this Hezbollah source has claimed that Hezbollah will be the replacement, or is going to fill this void that's left by the IRGC, as well as Iraqi-backed militias that are pro-Iran, that they would be inside the Syrian spaces. Again, this is also convoluted, and it does appear to be the messaging wing of Hezbollah is pushing this out anyway. So obviously the IRGC's suffered serious blows, not just on April 1st when we saw that strike on the consulate, but there's been multiple other IRGC figures that have been killed before that strike in Syria. So the airstrikes, which again the Israelis have not stated outside of the April 1st strike that they were involved with these other IRGC strikes, but they've obviously inflicted some heavy cost or pain within the IRGC. Can they operate and continue their main priority or their main goals of these weapon shipments through Syria and bolstering up these militias that support the Assad regime? They can likely do that from wherever they need to be. So a physical presence on the ground from high-ranking IRGC officials in Syria, potentially not something we see going forward. But then again, these are reports again, or this is being pushed out by Hezbollah themselves. So paying it all with a grain of salt.
Zach, thank you very much. Zach Andrews there in the north of Israel.